Okay, you should be on.
Hi guys, Tiffany here, and welcome to my quilting live. So welcome to yet another Sew Sunday. Today's Sew Sunday is actually a new pattern, which you guys have all seen before because it is the block on my wall. So those of you who have been asking, and Mr. Cameraman is going to turn around and show you, for those that have been asking the block that's on my wall, I made that quite a long time ago when I first started in the beginning. I had no idea what I was doing. So I have just decided to revamp it just a little and show you how to put it together. So yeah, as soon as he gets the camera angle back at me. Can you take it away from the lights though? Turn it to where the lights aren't completely. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I didn't want you guys to be blinded by light, so. Hi, Vicky. So anyway, I have revamped this, and so for today's Sew Sunday, it is called The Block on My Wall. We are making that. So what you need for the block on the wall, hello Ramona, is a charm pack. Just one charm pack, because all we're making is a wall hanging, and or you can put it on a table topper because it'll turn out like 34 inches by 34 inches in around there. So one charm pack, and I just grabbed a whole thing of one of my bolts, and only 10 inches of fabric. So that's two 5-inch cuts. That's all we're going to need for this project, because I only need 15 squares of a solid color. And I chose gray because it goes great with my charm pack. And we are going to just make this real quick. I'm going to hold up, for those of you, I'm going to hold up the diagram. For those of you who want to just take a screenshot, then take a screenshot of this diagram. If not, in the description below, there will be the link to the Facebook group, and I will post a still photo of this diagram in the Facebook group for those of you who would like it, who would like to have it. And don't mind my messy writing. So this is the diagram. Hold it steady.
I'm trying.
So that's the diagram. Okay. So we are going to make that. And if you didn't notice in all the moving around, I have a mess going on in my room because I actually have like seven quilt projects going on all at once. So, hi Billy, hi Diane. Oh, just got out. Okay, so I'm going to move this mouse out of the way because I don't need it. I'm going to come over here, and we are going to start by simply just cutting our background color to 5-inch strips off of here, and then I will subcut them.
How big is the finished block?
Squares.
Billy wants to know.
The finished blocks will be 4.5 inches. I will go through all of that when I show you guys how to make it. So we're just using a charm pack and 10 inches of a background color. So that's like, what, a quarter of a yard or something like that? I think 9 inches is a quarter of a yard. No, 10 inches is a quarter of a yard.
Yard is 36, so divided that by 4. It's 9, yes.
Yeah,
9.
so you just need a little bit more than a quarter of a yard.
Hi, Vicky.
All right, so I'm going to cut myself.
Sandy
1, 2,
says
3,
hello.
4, 5. Hi, Sandy. I'm going to cut 2 5-inch strips off of here, which is 10 inches.
Tracy says hello.
Hi, Tracy. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to do the cutting so that you guys can see the cutting and everything else.
Do you want me to move the camera?
No, you don't have to.
If I can. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That's what you keep me around for.
All right. That is all I need of that. So I'll just toss that over there, out of the way. And now we're going to subcut these into 5-inch squares. I need 15 5-inch squares. And I should get 15 out of this. But we'll see. If not, then I need more than 10 inches. I was trying to do good calculations for you guys, so we'll see. I'm usually pretty good at getting what I can. That's nice. Oh, let's just use the smaller ruler now. I'll line it up on a line so that it's nice and flat and straight and good. So yeah, we're going to just make the block on my wall into an actual wall hanging. Forgot I moved my little basket. So I'm just subcutting 5-inch squares. That's on the line, that's on the line. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, Linda's been waiting since 3:30 for you. She thought you weren't feeling well.
9, 10, 11, 12. Can you pull out the iron, please, so I can iron those out?
Yeah.
Plug it in, put the cord down, and plug it into there, please.
Yeah, I gotcha. Doris says hi.
Hi, Doris. Alright. So oops. Every once in a while I have a boo-boo crack. Get that off of there. Stay.
Okay, boo-boo cuts are good. They show everyone what you do and mess up, some mistakes.
Alright, I'm going to have the husband wait for that iron to turn on to straighten these out, because I just went ahead and used the fold, because I hate to waste fabric. So, I'll just move those out of the way. Again, we are making the block on the wall. Next, while those are getting ready, we are opening our charm pack. It needs to be a charm pack with 42 5-inch squares, not a 40. I know some companies put only 40, but we need 42 squares for this project to work. And I'm going to pick through this, and I'm going to choose some lighter colors that will contrast well with my dark gray. I don't want these. I'm going to use the darker ones for my outer colors and the lighter fabrics for my half square triangles. So these are all darker. These are all darker. Okay, so lighter ones I'm going to use on my half square triangles. So I need 15, let me see, I wrote it down. I need 15 of them. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to mix this up because there's more than 15. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. No, what are these? Alright, so the rest of all that is going to go into the background. So we need 15 of the 5-inch squares so that we can make half square triangles, and I only need 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I need to really quickly press those pieces that were on the fold.
Okay. Jeanette Hutcherson is a new quilter. She says hi. She loves your tutorials.
Well, this is definitely an easy, beginner quilter friendly project here that I am doing today. For those of you who can't see, I'm actually just pressing these pieces real quick.
Do you want me to come over there?
No, you don't need to see this part. I'm just fixing the fold. I don't want the fold in my fabric. I'm going to move this out of the way. So the first part of everything is creating the half square triangles for our blocks. Now this project should not take long at all whatsoever. So for those of you who are new to half square triangles, the best is to take your lighter fabric and, I have it right here, draw a line from corner to corner for half square triangles. So I'm just going to draw a line with a pencil from corner to corner on my blocks. And then I will sew a 1/4 inch on each side of the line. So this is probably the part that takes the longest, is drawing on all these squares.
Do you want me to do that while you sew?
Yeah, you can if you want.
It doesn't matter to me.
Get it done faster. So, just corner to corner. Alright, well, I'm going to start sewing while Mr. Scotty Poo does the drawing from corner to corner. So here's my drawn one. So I'm going to take one. You're kind of like totally blocking the camera.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I'm going to take one of the pieces that I drew my corner to corner line, and I'm going to grab one of my background squares, the color that I chose as my pop, and I'm going to lay these right sides together. And obviously, when you use a charm pack and your own special cutting, it looks like my charm pack pieces are actually smaller than my 5-inch square. Sometimes it's the inside of the pinking, sometimes it's the outside. Either way, I will get 4.5-inch blocks when I have completed this.
What is pinking?
Pinking is this pinked edge, up and down.
Oh, okay.
Stops it from shredding.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew 1/4 inch on one side, and then flip it over and sew 1/4 inch down the other side. So I'm just going to come over here to my foot and lay it down at the 1/4 inch line and just start going. Normally I would chain piece a ton of pieces, which I'm going to do after I do this. Just going to sew on either side of the line real quick. Now that I have sewn on each side of the line, we take it, line it up on the line, and we use our cutter and cut on that line. Which will give you 1/4 inch on each side, and it also just so happens to give me half square triangles. And I'm going to leave them in half because I'm going to use my slotted trimmer thingy that I absolutely hate. You guys ever want to know a tool that really sucks? It's the slotted trimmer. I didn't buy this. It was, I borrowed it, and it turned out that it does not do like you guys think. Every time I go down it with a fresh blade, okay, with a fresh blade, it gets caught in all the little slots. Now, I absolutely hate this thing, but whatever, I'm going to use it anyway when I go to trim all those.
Did they all get to see it good, or should I hold it up closer to the camera?
Nice to see you sewing tonight. Okay, hi Wanda. Sorry I didn't see you. We got Jeanette. I need to throw me some glasses. Where'd my glasses go? Are they still
Out
in
on
the
the
kitchen?
table. CJ!
CJ, will you get my glasses, please? So I can see the
Her
screen.
glasses on the kitchen table. Or the kitchen counter.
I found 6-inch strips to make Diamond Star last week. Just pre-cuts. Okay. I'm kind of trying to read that, so. Well, good, Jeanette. I'm glad you got some fabric at Tuesday morning. I love going to Tuesday morning, but my Tuesday morning here seems to be out of anything good right now. Like, for real. They don't put much out for as many quilters as there are in this town. Thank you. I can't see the screen without these things. Right, Vicky? So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I just chain piece all these pieces. I just grab another one, lie them right sides together, slide it under my presser foot, sew 1/4 inch down the one side. So I'm sewing 1/4 inch to the side of my drawn line.
Fabric tends to move if you don't hold it very
Tightly, yes.
tightly. So this one has a little bit.
He's getting to know that fabric moves around quite easily and stretches quite easily.
Well, it's hard when you're standing way back trying to be out of the camera and drawing, you know what I mean?
Yep. So I'm just going to chain piece all this through. A lot of you know how to make half square triangles, so I'm pretty sure without bringing the camera close, you guys know how this works. Again, it's just right sides together, and I'm sewing on a line 1/4 inch away from the line on this side and on this side of that drawn line. No, you don't need to bring the camera over.
I can. Do you want me to
Okay.
show them that triangle thing that you don't like? I can show them that.
For anybody that's curious about that slotted trimmer, this is that slotted trimmer thing. I do not like it. I do not recommend it. I Only have it because I borrowed it for a different project. There we go. There, you can see that way.
Yeah.
I borrowed it for a different project, and it's just, I don't know. I've almost chopped my fingers off with it a bazillion times. So again, while he's close, you can see the difference between my 5-inch square and the store 5-inch square. I'm going to lay them right sides together, like so. And I'm starting with sewing on this side because it's my 1/4-inch foot. On this side of the line, and I'm chain piecing all of them through. And then once they're all together, I'm just going to turn it around like this.
Diane wants to know if you can cut from the bottom up.
On the slotted trimmer?
I don't know. She just says, can you cut from the bottom up? I'm not sure what she's talking about. Yes. On the slotted trimmer.
Yeah, you can cut either way. And both ways, no matter how you cut with it, it's still the blade. I'm not going to cut with it, but somehow, some way, when you're cutting, it nicks. And you can hear it literally nicking inside. So if you're cutting, you can hear it nick at every single one of these, no matter which way you go. I don't know what it is, but it does not like blades. Unless this one was just a screw up from the factory, these slotted trimmers suck. That's my personal opinion. I only borrowed it because I had like 500 half-square triangles I needed to do in a hurry. So my friend loaned it to me, and yeah, I don't like it. Susan? So I'm just sewing on both sides of the line. So these ones are all done, and I just need to keep going with the last few.
You're vibrating the table
Yeah, your lines are pretty horrible.
Quit vibrating the table.
Scotty's lines are messed up, guys.
Quit vibrating the table.
So I'm just going to go by eye of where the line should have been. I'll get this one correct before I start chain piecing them through.
Oh, Diane does a YouTube site also, huh?
Can you cut from I don't see where you're saying that, Diane. What
Linda was asking what Diane's YouTube site was. It's Diane57M.
Yeah, you just click on Diane's name, her little icon next to her name, and it'll take you right to her YouTube. Alright, a few more left to go, and then we will get all these trimmed up. So how is everybody's day going? I've had a super busy day. That's the only reason why I'm on later than my normal time. It's been kind of chaotic here with kids coming over and needing this and that and this and that, so.
They wanted us to help them with their taxes.
And then I had to make something to eat for dinner because I was hungry, and so was the husband, and so was CJ. So we needed to eat something. So it's been one of those days, just busy, busy, busy. Tomorrow, been in bed sick. That sucks, Sandy. Sorry. Hope you get better soon. I'm still not completely better, but at least my cough is mostly gone and the sniffles are gone, finally. It seems like the only reason why all the symptoms are sticking around is because it's been windy here. That's what's probably just agitating normal allergies now.
Sandy's trying to convince herself she's on vacation.
Huh?
Sandy's trying to convince herself she's on vacation.
I do that every day.
Yes, Diane, we had him do a TurboTax and told him to do it the easy way, but he's still...
Something was still wrong with how we did it.
He's the one that needs the most.
I haven't done taxes in many, many years, and that is because I don't have a real job. So, my daycare used to be licensed, but I fell under like the $5,000 a year bracket, so technically we don't have to file taxes. So, yeah. I don't know anything about anything else. I just know that the problem we were finding with my son's taxes, I guess you were required by law to pay taxes on what was literally having to have medical insurance because that Obamacare. I never knew how that Obamacare worked, but I guess it makes you pay if you don't have it.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
So that's the problem we were having. Can't figure it out. Plus, I'm not totally technology, whatever. I mean, I could follow the directions if something gives me the directions, obviously. But TurboTax had a lot of information that I was just lost on. Alright, so this is the first part, is sewing them. Now we just need to trim them all and press them. And then that's pretty much half of what we're doing here.
Lori says hello. Lori Bernard says hello all.
Hello! Alright, let's move that out of the way and grab a bigger one. This smaller one away. Alright, let me trim all these in half. Nice if I can see where half actually is.
Well, Billy, our kids wait till the last minute too, pretty much to do theirs. We always do our stuff right away. I don't like having bills over my head. As soon as I get a bill, I do it immediately.
Yeah,
Our kids.
That was a very close seam allowance right there, but I'm gonna live with it.
Our kids are a little slower.
I'm just slicing all these in half. On the line. Just lining up the ruler on the line. Slicing them all. It's pretty quick to do this block, which now technically isn't a block because I'm actually making a wall hanging because I upped the size of everything, which made it work out perfect. So.
Tell Lori and everyone else again what you're working on this evening.
Oh, we're doing the quilt block on my wall. This is just the block on my wall is what I'm calling it, because that's, everybody's always curious about that block on the wall, and quite a few people have asked, so I decided to upscale it into an actual quilt.
Should I show them again the block?
Huh?
We're not plugged in, I guess.
No, it's fine, just leave it.
Oh.
So this is the layout. You can screenshot it, and or you can go to the group that's in the link below, and there'll be a regular picture of it, so that you guys don't have to screenshot. So it's just the block on the wall. All right, now for the slotted trimmer. I'm going to line this on the 4.5 inch line and just trim all these down to 4.5 inch blocks. Not much really needs to be trimmed off of them. It's like literally a minute amount. But it gives you the line on the trimmer.
You're cutting off the pinking, right?
Pretty much.
Oh, look at that, I learned something.
So it doesn't take that long, but this thing just hates brand new blades, so that's all I don't like about it.
It looks like it's working pretty good, honey.
It is right now because I'm on video.
Wish our video was as clear as it is in the tablet. Goodness. Is it just because our internet is so slow?
I think so. Oh yeah, today I was playing around with the internet earlier, not the internet, the more than one camera thing, and I found how to get to it, but now I can't find encoding settings or something. I posted an ad though, I told some of you guys already, I posted an ad looking for somebody that does video editing and or YouTubing and so on and so forth, and so far nobody has responded to my ad, but you never know, someone might soon.
Yeah, she put she'll make them a free quilt. They
Yep.
help her edit.
If someone can help me do all this, I'll make them a quilt. They just have to come here and set it all up. That's the thing. Once it's all set up and situated and, you know, edit my videos and figure all those things out, then I don't need anybody anymore. It's just getting it started. I am 100% dumb. So most of the videos that I will post, if you guys didn't see yesterday, was it yesterday? I posted a video of how to trim a quilt after quilting it, and I just made that a 15-minute, exact 15-minute video on how to trim a quilt without editing it. So for now, I have a couple projects that I want to do. They will be just raw, unedited videos. Making such a mess with all this kinking. For new quilters, remember, the pinked edges are a disaster. They make such a mess. So if you're on carpet, just remember that you have to vacuum afterwards.
Dan says we should put the ad up at our local college.
Well, that's a good idea.
We put it on Facebook. Pretty much everyone that's local should see it. Put it on one of the Facebook sites.
And like always, don't mind me, I am in my pajamas. During the day I don't do anything, so there's no purpose in putting on jeans and a t-shirt. Or shorts and a shirt or anything. I just walk around in my pajamas all day.
It's alright, honey, you're still sexy.
Ah. I put little grippers on the back of this, so at least it stays. I don't find this process any faster than pressing them first, then trimming them after with a 4.5-inch square, you know, I don't know. I think it's all the same. It's kind of starting to hurt my fingers from holding it though, that's for sure.
Well, Billy's in her PJs too.
I think that's what happens after a certain age. It's like, if you don't leave the house, there's no point to get dressed, honestly. Just walk around in your pajamas, or, well, if you live alone, walk around naked.
That's what I did years ago when I was single.
That's what Scotty did, yep. I didn't. I've always had kids, so. And the kids always had friends, and so on and so forth. So again, I'm just using this slotted trimmer that I don't like. It hasn't done anything bad since I've been making the video right now, but personal opinion, personal opinion. It's starting to kill my hand, I could tell you that. And to think I did this with a project that had over 500 half-square triangles in it. Whew. That was like 2 years ago, and I still have the ruler. I love my friends.
But does she ever even want it back? You talk to her a lot, don't you?
Yeah, but she's never came back by, so I don't know. She's been busy though with work a lot. And traveling. And I know they say not to cut towards you, but this tool only works that way unless you have it on a rotating cutting mat to turn it around. But I guess if you're safe about it, it should be no big deal. Almost done. I might find a different way to hold this thing in my hand. And then after this, I'm going to press all these open. Or back, or however you guys want to use
Yeah,
the terminology.
need,
Press
okay.
back or press open.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Love you. I'll be here. Can't see the comments just yet because I'm playing with a rotary cutter. Alright, last one, and then we can turn the camera so I can press. Alright. Alright guys, follow me around to press. And yes, the closet is open. I had to do some moving things around in here. So I'm going to turn these upside down because I want to press to the dark. So I'm just going to open each individual block. Give it a little bit of seam. Slide it over. Trying not to pull or stretch or tug on it because I want it to stay as flat as possible and as square as possible. But you know me, I use steam. You can also just chain stack press. Chain stack press. And just press them, roll it back. I can't see in anything. How do you dispose? Okay, dull blades. I could show you that right now, actually. Where did I stick it? I stuck it right here somewhere. So, you know the case that the blade comes in? Where was it? I stuck it right here. Anyways, there's a little case that the blades come in that looks like this. What I do is I keep the last case, and then I stack all the bad ones in it, and I write bad on the case, and then I put all the bad blades in it, and then toss the case in the trash when it's full of bad blades. So there's, I think this is like a 5 or 10 pack. Looks like 10. So I just fill these up with the bad blades because I have a bunch of extra cases. And I put the bad ones in one, and I write bad, and then the good ones in another. So that's how I dispose of bad blades. Or you can wrap it in fabric and then tape it up and throw it in the trash. I mean, if you want, with scrap trash fabric, you know, something that you were going to throw in the trash, just wrap it around the blade and then tape it up. I mean, that would work too. If you're like me and you have a sharps dispenser for like diabetics and people that are on medications that require needles, I can dispose of my blades in my sharps container because I have my medications as needles, so I have a container that it goes in. So I mean, that's another idea for those of you who have those. You can just drop it in one of those. And so pepper can throw them away. I'll read all that in a second. Let me just finish pressing because I'm totally like on the wrong side of the screen. Oops. No. you try to fold it back without giving it some heat first, it doesn't ever do what I want it to. Or if you accidentally press it wrong, like I just did, laying it down funky. Alright, almost done with this part. Okay, so there should be 30 half square triangles here. Let's turn this back around. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to bring up my trash. Wipe all this up real quick. What a dusty mess. I mean, I have so many projects going on. Here's another project right here. In the midst of being made. So many projects. So little time. Okay. So now, I'm just going to make sure this is 4.5 inches. And it is 4.5 inches. I'm not even going to do anything about these dog ears. I think I'll just snip them off with the scissors, I guess. Grab me some little snips. And just do every piece real quick. Let's just try to do this in a quick, fast hurry. They're all the same side. Just didn't stack them nicely. Some have sharpeners and others. I need to put them in large plastic jars. Mark dull blades. That's a good idea. Putting it in a jar and marking it. I would say tape up the jar too. Before I got a regular sharps container, I used a wipies container, and then I just wrote sharps on it and taped it up with duct tape a bazillion times so that it could not be opened. And I wrote waste on it, obviously. Stack all these nicely to make this easier on myself. Trimming off all these little dog ears. There's probably faster ways to do this, obviously. And I'm choosing the lame route where I have to trim every single one individually. Does anybody else have any ideas how to get these off faster? Could make a kid do it if I wanted, but then he'd cut something wrong probably. And my husband's not in here, so he can't do it for me either. Or else I'd be at the next step faster. This is just getting rid of bulk, is all it's doing, by the way, for new quilters. This just gets rid of bulk at the seams. We don't want a lot of bulk in our seams. Keeps the quilt laying flatter and, I don't know, just lays flatter. Screw it. I'm just going to do it this way. Just gonna throw them. Oh. You guys like how I do these things? Making a mess. Flipping everything upside down now. It's okay though, because we're going to be following a diagram in a minute after we cut those other squares up. Because that's the last step, is trimming those squares and sewing the rows together. Because we're going to make this in rows. And we should have 27 squares left to trim down. I think with a remainder of like 4 or something. I wrote it down earlier. Good thing I don't ever. I don't know what the ruler. Oh yeah, I don't like to stick it in the slots because that's how I cut myself. That's how I got this one on here the other day. I'm really horrible with that thing. I just do it this way. Alright, so those are ready. I'm gonna slide these into my hand and throw it in the trash. We're going to take these pieces over and trim them down to 4.5-inch squares. Because those are 4.5, so now these need to be 4.5. And I'm going to stack quite a few of them. Make sure they're nice and flat, and lined up neatly. I'll stack like 6 at a time. I'm just going to make a couple piles here. Stack them all up nicely. I'm going to trim all these down to 4.5. Now you could honestly use 4.5-inch squares if you have some 4.5-inch, or if you didn't buy a layer cake or a charm pack, then you can just cut yourself some 4.5-inch squares. Let me find that thing. Let's see, I forgot. You need 30 half square triangles and 27 no, 34 whole squares and 30 half square triangles. I knew I wrote it somewhere. So we need 30 half square triangles, which we already did, the 15, and then 34 prints, which is what I'm stacking up now, turning into 4.5-inch squares. So it's just a little bit of a waste, but we'll make it work. I don't like wasting too much fabric, but it's only a 1/2 inch off of each end, or off of at least 2 ends. These are some pretty colors though. I think I chose the right color to go with it, the gray, instead of a purple. I was going to use a purple, but then I was like, nah, gray looks better. So yeah, if you want to use, make your own squares, you can. Just cut 5-inch squares and make the half square triangles, or you can just make 4.5-inch half square triangles, however you prefer to make them. It's up to you. It's your own choice. I'm just giving you the diagram and showing you how it's sewn together, making it easier. I'm going to grab my 60mm blade and cut through all these because there's quite a few in each stack. And everything is quite close to me. So we're going to take this to the 4.5-inch line and line it up 4.5, 4.5. There's the half mark, there's the half mark. It goes all the way down to this end. It's nice and straight, all the way around. Trim that off. Trim that off. There's those done. This part's the part that does not take long at all. We're just trimming these down. 4.5, 4.5. It's all nicely lined up. And I'm not going to save any of that. There's no reason. So again, I'm lining it up on the 4.5. 4.5. I'm using the pinking as the line because that was really messed up on Got other blocks. So it is kind of a little bit of a waste, but making it work. Nice and pretty. 4.5 there, 4.5 there. I'm using my ruler as my 4.5-inch square. Nice and straight, lining it up. All right, so that's all ready to go. And this goes in my fabric trash pile one. Okay, so now that all that is done, we're going to swap to the next part, which is joining me on the floor to lay it out. So I'm going to throw all this on the floor, and we're going to grab the chart, and I'm going to take you guys for a wild ride onto the floor with me. There we go. I hope that's good enough view right there. So I'm going to use it to lay it like down on the floor. We're going to start with a print. So I'm going to, let's see, I'm looking at the screen. I cannot see the comments from up here, guys. My screen is in the way. Always wondered why you needed a 60. Yeah, I cut a lot. I cut through a lot of layers. Let's see, okay. All right, guys, so I just looked at the comments, but right now, let's focus on laying this out. Let's see if you guys can even see the chart. Nope. Okay, so print. We're just gonna randomly put colors. Let's mix them all up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. The fourth piece is going to be a half square triangle, and my dark or my solid is going to come down. Then the next one, my solid, is going to go down to the left. The first 1, 2, 3, fourth piece, it goes down. The solid is down to the right. Fifth piece down to the left. And then we add 3 more. Let's see, 3, 1. We'll put this flower one in there, 2. And we'll add this one, 3. All right. And the next row, row 2, because we have 8 rows of 8. So let's move all these pieces and shuffle all this fabric. So now it starts with 1 of a print, 2. Oh, let's put this one here. That's better. And then we're going to go into a half square triangle again. And this one, the third piece, it goes with the half square triangle with our solid goes down to the right. The next one, the half square triangle goes up to the left. And the rest of the row is all just going to be some prints. Just throw these all in here, mixing them all up. All right, the next row is 1, 2, 3, so we need 3 of these. 1, I'll use that one. I'll put this one here, 2, and then I want that one next to an edge. We want this one, 3. And then we're going to do one of the half square triangles with the solid up to the right. And the next one, it is down to the left. Oh, let's change that out for a different one though. Trying to mix them up a little. Alright, so now we need to throw in up another one. And then this one goes up to the right, and then the next one goes down to the left, and then we add that's the same as that. We'll add this here. All right, the next row, row 4, half square triangle with the solid down to the right. Then we have a solid or a print. Then we have our solid goes down to the right, up to the left, and oops, what am I thinking? And then move it around. The next one is up to the right. And the next one is, I gotta bring my chart further down. So I'm on row 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in. That's up. Now we're gonna go down with the, it's down to the right, up to the left, or I mean up to the right, and last one is down to the left. Then the next row, again, we're going to go up to the right, down to the left, up to the right, left, sorry, and down to the left, down to the right, up to the left, a solid, that one, a print, sorry, and then my solid will go up to the left. Next row, hope you guys can see how this is coming along. So we have, now we're at this one, so let's start off with that. Now we have up to the right, down to the left, up to the right, down to the left, and actually I'm going to swap that one out with a different one because I don't want them the exact same. Alright, where am I at? Let's see, down, and then 1, 2, and 3 of those. Now the next row has 1, 2, I don't want that there, 3, 4, and then down, we're doing a solid again. What row am I on? I'm trying to look at what row I'm on. Goes down this way. And the next one goes up this way. So the first goes down to the right, up to the left. And how am I out of prints? Look at me doing math all wrong, guys. There's some stuck or something here. See, even I screw up. Go away, kitty. Okay, so it looks like I am shy by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. How did that happen? I don't know. So what we're going to do is make some 5-inch squares out of a solid. See how that happens? Even I mess up, guys. So I'm going to make some solids for the corners. How's that sound? Maybe this is why I had that jumbled mess last time. So I'm going to cut some 4.5-inch strips from this. Just one, because I said I needed 7 pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Can't believe I already messed up. Look at that. So don't mind my math. When I take my picture, I'll change the numbers. I'll rewrite it on there. I had it all written down. Alright. I need 7 4.5-inch. Because I'm short. Let me count that again. Move, Thumper. Move. 1. I'm out of the camera angle, by the way, real quick, guys. I know what I'm going to do. I'll leave that there. Leave that there. Leave that there. And leave that there. I'm just moving a couple things around real quick. All right. Pull those 2 out. Okay. So let me cut a couple 4.5-inch off of here. So I was 7 short, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces too short. On my, oh my god, charm pack. So I'm just going to cut some 4.5-inch solids and watch what I have just turned and did. I need 6 of them. 3, 4. I'm going to screw the fold. Just because I need to get this done. 5, 6. Kind of crooked right here on this end. Not my fault. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. That's why, because I pulled 2 more. 2 more. 2 more! 8 pieces, because I pulled 2 out. Technically, we're 6 pieces short. You guys see how lousy I am with this whole math thing? How am I a quilter? I ask myself. Alright, guys. So, up. Damn it, cat. That's why I hate it. I hate it when the kitty cat gets in it. Look what he just did. He came and messed it all up. Anyway, I took 2 squares and I'm replacing with all these in the opposites of the corners. Kitty cat messed things up. Man. Now I gotta refer to my chart because of the kitty cat. Alright, where's my chart? Go! Go and go. Where was I? Okay, so this will go here, and this is going to go here. Let's see. That goes like so. That goes like that, maybe? Nope. Which row am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Second one is down. First one is up. Next row down goes up. And that goes there. And that goes there. And one more piece up here. Aha! Now I made it work. And I'm going to pull all these into the 4 corners. because I don't like those next to. Nope, those are too much in a row. Ah, that's better. I don't want the light colors next to the light colors, since I did choose to go with the lights. These are too close together either. Let's put this guy up top. So this is the time to move things around. And that can go there. Alright guys, so that is what I'm going to sew together real quick. Right, Diane? Mine's just the kitty, and you can see him. He is literally just sitting there. He's like, but I want to play with it, Mama. I want to play. So, alright. Now let's sew these rows together. So I'm going to pick them up as they are from the ground. Go, go, go. And like any other quilt, we're just going to take the rows. And what I normally do is I pick up all the rows from the floor in order from piece 1 over. So that way I don't have to get up and down a bazillion times. And I just stick all the rows on the table. And I take and mark them all with a little note, sticky note, which I'm going to do real quick like, and I have the hiccups now. And I'm just going to do this quick like. I'm wasting. Okay. Let me go lay these down on the rows real quick. That way I can pick them all up in order. And I guess I'll show you how I pick them all up. Sorry that I keep making you guys super duper dizzy. So, I'm just going to show you how I pick them up. That way for beginners, as you guys know. So I'm going to call this row 1, row 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And what I do is I'm going to start with row 8 because it's closest to me, is I'm going to pick them up exactly how they came off the floor. Exactly like this. I'm just going to leave it right there and leave that number on it. Normally I would pin them all together, but we're kind of in a hurry, so it'd be nice to just throw a little pin in here. So I'm just going to pick them up exactly how I found them. I'm not going to turn anything. I'm going to keep them all facing me, so when I get up and take them to the sewing machine, I'm going to hold them just like this. I'm not going to turn it so that I get things out of order. I'm going to keep it the way my number is on there. Normally it would be pinned, but I'm not in no rush to pin it right now. Just going to sew all these together so we can get this completed, so you guys can see that it actually doesn't take this long. And unfortunately, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry that I messed up. I will fix that. It's my own error. Could have swore all I need was the 42 pieces. But I'll make it right by fixing it before I put it on the group page for you guys to follow the diagram. Alright, so see how they're stacked? That's exactly how I'm going to sew them now. So I'm just going to pick up row 1 and sew the whole thing. Stay right there. Exactly the way they are. I'm going to pick them up, stick them right here. Hopefully my little sticker will stay on it. There we go. Oh, let me take a break and look at all these comments because I totally cannot tell. Let's see. Can't get to the floor anymore. Yeah, you can tell I'm out of breath, right? Yeah. I really like that. Could you make it intro? Yeah, you can make this a regular size. Well, you can use 10-inch squares for this. Obviously, I will change the diagram. Which all I actually did to it. Same amount of squares, just pulled one. And I colored in hopefully you guys can see my drawing, so I'm going to hold this up to the screen. So last second design change due to my own errors. See if I hold this up good enough. Right there. So anything that's shaded in, you guys will see in the picture. Anything that's got shading, those are the solids. Okay? So that will be on the group for all of you guys to see. Alright, let's start getting these rows sewn together because I don't see. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm caught up. Alright. Start with row 1. While I'm on row 1, I'm going to take my handy dandy pin, stick it in here so my direction doesn't get changed. That way it holds it on there. So we're going to put piece 1, piece 2, right sides together. And I'm just going to sew down these 2 pieces. 1/4 of an inch seam. Put my little seam guide back over here where it's supposed to be. Alright, open it up. I'm going to finger press this whole entire row to the right. So I'm going to put an arrow on my little piece that says all my pieces are pressed to the right. So I'm going to grab the next piece, right sides together. I'm going to lay that right there so this isn't. Come on, so right sides together on my next piece. Laying it on there nicely. And sewing 1/4 inch seam. Finger pressing it to the right. Gonna grab my next piece and I'm gonna refer to my chart to make sure that this row is facing the way it's supposed to. So next piece, this goes down to the right, which it does. Right sides together and sew it in there. Finger pressing it to the right. Next piece goes down to the left, exactly like my chart shows. I'm going to put it on here. I'm not going to mind these 2 seams right here because they will not nest unless you flop those seams. Just going to put it in there anyway. Obviously rethread my sewing machine. My mistakes are okay. I will make it work because, well, I'm making it work. I make mistakes all the time, actually. I try to hide, you know? Like, I cover my mistake with another mistake purposely. So I'm just finger pressing all these seams to the right so that my next row can go all to the left, and I will go over and press all this as soon as I have all these rows sewn. Because before I sew the rows together, I am going to make sure everything, I'm going to lay it back down on the floor and make sure all of the angles are correct by looking at it. So, obviously if I had more time, I could put this in fast forward and you guys wouldn't have to watch me sew all 8 rows together right now. But that's okay. I like hanging out, even though I can't read completely. Oh, there you are, Michelle. I've been wondering where you've been. A notification came through and I didn't know if you caught it. And I'm talking about the group, Michelle, because you are my admin, remember? Alright, so row 1 together, everything finger pressed to the right. I'm just going to lay this down on the floor. I'm not even going to bother pressing or anything. I'm just going to lay it there. Grab the next row. I'm going to take my first piece and throw a pin in it so I know where it's the angle it's supposed to be. Take my pencil because all these seams are being pressed to the left, so I'm putting an arrow with a press to the left. Right sides together, and so a 1/4 inch seam. So these are going to the left. Alright, so 3rd piece down goes down to the right. Yep. Open it, finger press it to the left. I'm not doing a perfect finger press either. I'm kind of just sloppy finger pressing. So, alright, next one is up to the left. Up to the left, down to the left, right to the left, second left. Making it funny. Alright, put that on there and sew it. You'd think I'd have this down packed because I actually have another quilt that this whole thing is in, and it's in. Somewhere in one of these piles is where it is. Alright, next piece is this one. I'll have to show you as soon as I can find it. But it just needs to be quilted. Are you serious again? Having issues today, guys. Everything hates me. Close. That's what I'm going to take tonight, some NyQuil, just to help me relax and hopefully fall asleep. I think my cutter is what's doing it, is undoing my machine, de-threading my machine. It happens. So I don't really normally use it, but when I'm trying to do my videos, I do. What time is it, everybody, at where you are? It's 8 here. Hoping to have this done. I'm pretty sure this is like a... I'm pretty sure this is normally like a 3-hour project. So row 2 done, looks like my picture. Okay, laying it down. Now for row 3, grab a pin, put it in the first piece so that everything stays in that direction, because this one is being pressed. See, what I do is I put a little arrow the way I want to press that whole row. That way everything nicely lays. It's my own little, I don't know, it's my own little thing that I just do. Okay, so I'm on row 3. Good thing this is small. It's just a wall hanging. So these seams are all going to the right. I have my chart in front of me. It's best to keep your chart in front of you. So if you take that picture, make sure it's somewhere where you can see it over and over and over again, or print it up on, I don't know how to print up the picture, but I know you can, or you just have your phone next to you, I guess, or tablet or whatever with the screen open. Okay, next one is down. That's down. Once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quick, I guess. Okay, Ramona, you're in my same time zone. Vicky, you're only an hour, 2 hours ahead. Billy, an hour ahead. Lori, 7 p.m. Oh, it's still early for you. Let's see. This one is up. Up. It's a blizzard here and windy, cold. Whee! You guys all have horrible weather. It was like 62 or 3 today, but the wind chill did not feel that way. $11 there would be. 11 degrees. Ooh, and snowing. Alright, next one is down to the left. Okay, so I'm almost done with this row and get ready to do the next row. And I'm just laying them back down on the floor, but even before pressing, because I've already finger pressed. Alright, this is super cute. I'm glad I chose these colors. Alright, row 4. Just throw a pin in it. So this one starts with a piece that angles down. So that's exactly what it's doing. Grab the next one. Right sides together. These ones I'm pressing to the left, so I'm going to put my arrow to the left so that I remember which way they're pressed. This one goes down, exactly how it's shown in the picture. And I'm so sorry that I can't sew and look at the screen at the same time because I'm peripherally blind and I'll end up hurting myself, so that's the reason why I look down all the time. I know you guys like when I look at you, and I like looking at you guys when I talk, but my vision, I can't see anywhere but directly in front of me, like this. So, unfortunately, I have to keep my face in a certain position to see what I'm doing here. I kind of miss being able to see other ways, though, let me tell you. 1, 2, 3, this is piece 4, goes up just like it shows. couldn't even cut that without seeing it. That's so horrible. Alright, the next one goes up like that. And I'm not worried about nesting the seams on these right here where they come into corners, because they're going to line up as well. What seams I am worried about nesting is the rows on this one. I don't know, I think it adds more character because there isn't anything that really truly lines up besides the row. So, just thought I'd say. So what am I on? 1, 2, 3, 4. That piece is up, next piece is down. Yep. The next piece is up, the next piece is down. Good. I'm just going to look ahead. Still pressing all my seams with my finger. It goes up exactly and down. Okay. Next one is going to be down. Good, got that correct. Okay, next row. We're on 5 now. So I'm going to lay number 4 down where it goes. Make sure everything looks like it's where it's supposed to be. And it does. I'm going to move on to row 5. I'm going to throw a pin in it now so that I know which way I want it to go. My arrow is pointing to the right on this one, so everything gets pressed to the right. And this is left, this is right, and this is left. That way they're in there. I'm starting to get achy from standing and sitting and standing and sitting, like super achy. So this Tiffy's now going to start this whole hurrying up thing. Alright. So this is up, this is down. Those are correct. These all get pressed to the right. And this one is up. You guys liking this project? You guys happy that I'm doing this one? Even though I messed up. Even though I messed up. 1, 2, 3, this one's down. I gotta check something, hold on. Okay. I had to see how much battery power is left. I don't want it to die. Okay. This one's down. So the next one is down that way. Pressing to the right, the next one is up. Good, Ramona, I'm glad that you like it. I've been meaning to remake this a bazillion times, I just never did. Because the one I started a long time ago, and it's wonky as wonky could be. just like my machine is doing, turning wonky on me. And this one goes row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last piece goes up that way. Gotta make sure, look at the chart, just in case you think you turned or moved something. And to the right. Alright. 3 more rows to sew, and then the rows need to be sewn together. Up, perfect. And the next one's down, perfect. I'm going to stress though, it is very important to have a 1/4 inch seam accurate with this disaster here. Because if you mess it up at all, it will not line up when you sew strips or rows together like this. That 1/4 inch seam makes a difference when you're nesting the seam of the next one, or else you have wonky pieces like my mess that is on the wall that we're making this because of. Up, down, up, down, okay. I didn't turn anything, but I'm definitely my whole machine doesn't the machine these themselves, the legs, they don't collapse, but my whole machine likes to vibrate itself across the table. And there is an anti-grip mat on underneath my machine, and it still likes to make its way across the table. It's just because I sew so fast, I guess. Because it doesn't do it if I sew like this. But I literally vibrate the whole table, so. But no, my little legs on my extended table don't fall in. I don't even think I'm going to press the rows. I think I'm just going to start sewing them together. Make it faster. You know me, I like to skip steps. I'm a step skipper. Step skipper. That's me. Step skipper. I do have to say, though, soon, I'll add, since I'm making this video, and I might as well tell you guys, upcoming stuff. I have 2 brand new patterns that I have just completed the whole whatever, and now I got to put them together. So I don't know if you could tell, but over there on the table right here is a jelly roll and of solid and a jelly roll of a print. So I'm just hoping maybe I have the math measurements correct before I, start making videos on these things. One of the things I'm doing, though, the newest pattern, does not require any math. It just requires cutting and putting things together. So there's a little bit of a spoiler alert. It's chopping it up and putting it back together thing. And it will be very fun. And I will show you a preview of it when I am done with everything and I can start showing you guys projects and stuff. I could show you a preview of my disaster. Because sometimes I make things, I'll make something to make sure that it's working out the way it's supposed to, or the way my vision was in my head. So I did go ahead and make something, but it's going to be regular videos, and they'll probably be series worth videos because I don't know how to edit yet, so obviously it'll just be a little bit of the project at a time. I do have a very large customer quilt that needs to be started on, so that will take up a lot of my time, but I'll be recording that process as well, so making my customer quilt. It won't be a tutorial per se, it'll just be the process documented of doing it, so. Alright, one more row. And let's see, I can't see what that says. I really like it. Didn't hear you answered my question. Can this be made into a regular size quilt? Yeah, I answered that. Yeah, it can be made into a regular size quilt. You can use a layer cake and solid or whatever as a background print and layer cake. Obviously the inches would be different, so it'd be 10, 20, 30. You would need 3 cuts off the yard, so you need 30 inches of fabric to be able to get that, because now that this has been changed to solids, obviously, on the outside, so it'll be left over with 1 remaining piece. But yeah, it can be made into a regular size quilt. Just change up the block size, or you can make you can make 3 of these blocks across by 4 down, like this size, because this is going to come out at 34-ish, somewhere in that number, by 34. So I hope that answered your question again, Linda. Sorry if you didn't hear it the first time. Oops, I'm pressing these to the left. Let's see. Yeah, she said you can change the size. Thanks, Diane. How big can you make that quilt? This exact one right here that I'm doing now, how big can I make it? I don't know. Whatever 10-inch squares would be instead of 5-inch squares. Yeah, you can just adjust your sizes. You guys just go. This will be on, it won't be on during the video because I can't do it while the video's on. But just take this diagram, I'll put it in the group, the link will be below to the group, and you go in the group, and if you want the diagram, it'll be there, and you can make it whatever size squares you want, as long as your half square triangles match the size of your block. So your half square triangles finished size needs to be the same as your finished block that's not a half square triangle, okay? So as long as that matches up, you can make this whatever size. You can use 2.5-inch squares if you want. It's up to you. The sky's the limit. Just use the diagram if you like it. I don't care. That goes up. The other way? Yep. Okay. I'm making sure I do it correct as I go because I'm almost done. So if you want it to be 5-inch squares, the way to make a 5-inch square, a 5-inch half square triangle, is I think it's 5 3/4 inch square. With a 5 3/4 inch square, we'll make a 5-inch triangle. Or if you had more than one charm pack, you can just sew on the line instead of to the side of the line. When you draw a line on these to sew, you would just sew on the line and fold the piece back, cutting the excess away. That will also give you a 5-inch square, so you don't have to cut any of the actual charm squares down. I just went ahead and did it this way because I didn't have another charm pack of this color. I only had one. So I try to do my projects, if there's only one of something, I try to do my projects around that. And my tension is really screwed up. Much better. I don't know what the heck's happening here. It hates me today. Weird. Just messed up only on that one. That's fine too. That's odd. Odd, odd. Alright. So I'm going to skip that next step of pressing and I'm just going to go straight for the row sewing. Much better. All the vibrating, I think, also knocks my tension out. And one more block. Get it on here. I'm checking my tension every time now because sometimes it'll mess up again. It's so weird. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it around. We're going to do a double check. Let's double check this and make sure it's correct. It looks correct to me. Obviously my little note sticker thingies are in the way, but there's a lot of dark right there, but I didn't mean for that to happen. That's just the darker piece, but it'll all be just fine when it's all sewn together. Alright, so let's sew these rows together. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to leave this on the floor for a second. These are going to go right sides together. I'm going to sew down this seam, okay? And then I'm just going to keep adding, see if I can show you. I'm just going to keep adding. So once these two are sewn together, I'm going to add this one, then add the next one, and so on and so forth until they're all on, okay? So, whew. All this moving around. Okay, back to the sewing machine one more time. And I'm going to sew these rows together. Stay. Okay. Okay. So row 1 and 2. Looks good to me. I'm not going to press until I'm completely done. Why? Because I'm skipping a step. I would not suggest skipping a step, but for video sakes, because it has become a long video that I just noticed when I was looking, we are going to just do my quick and easy way. So right now I am nesting the seams, which means this one is facing the right, this other one is facing the left. I'm going to hold them together, and you literally feel it flat, as if you were feeling the fabric. That is what you feel, just a flat, nice, flat seam. And I hold at each junction, sewing a 1/4 inch down. And if you have to adjust, adjust. Sometimes you have to adjust. It wouldn't have been so bad if I would have just pressed it and then went, but oh well. Just gonna do my thing. Do the thing that I do. I'm gonna hold the two ends together. So I'm gonna open it up. And I'm going to take this pin out of one, and I'll save these little papers for another project. And two, and I'm going to grab row 3. I'm going to hold it here to the bottom, make sure it's correct, right sides together, and I'm going to sew down, nesting every seam. And I do have a lot of thread in the middle of all this because I couldn't use my cutter. Kept messing up, so just going to hold each and every seam that I'm nesting. Sews nicely over it. Nice and flat. I kind of hate when those little threads get stuck in the little needle thing, the presser foot. Threads get stuck at it when they're really long and it tries to drag your piece with. It's funny. See, it doesn't, my thread, I'm telling you guys, the thread cutters that are built on your machine are not, I repeat, I don't give a bad word, what anyone thinks or thinks they know. They are not meant to be used as much as I would use them. You guys see how much I sew between every single block? You are not supposed to be using that thread cutter constantly that's built into your machine because it's getting ruined. It's going dull. So it's not going to cut anymore. I mean, this thing is 2 years old and it started not cutting like 7 months ago, 8 months ago. So just so you know, if you're trying to baby your machine, I would just not use the thread cutter. For any of you who have thread cutters built into your machine. So just letting you know, that's what I know from personal experience with the machine and the fact that you can see in there and see it's going dull. So all right, row 4. As often as I use a sewing machine, I just got to learn to take the, you know, other than my chain piecing, which is saving things, I just need to learn to pull away and manually cut the thread. Alright. Nest these 2 seams up. Come on. Click it. I have like some bulk because both of these seams have a seam on the back of them. So they're not laying very flat. There we go. Okay, right there. That's nice. I hope you guys, like, nobody gets mad at me saying that over these, you know, but if you want to save the life of your machine, I don't care what any technician tells you, they have to, when they fix those things, they have to sharpen it. So, I'm telling you, from what I know, in 2 years of sewing on this machine, and the 4 machines I broke prior to this machine. So, my other brother now, though, does not have a built-in thread cutter, so I'm lucky I get to save that machine a little bit longer. But they are not meant for the way we quilters use the thread cutter, or need the amount of thread we need to cut in between, so just, you know. I don't think so. You have to take it to get it serviced. And I don't know how to do it on my own. I do all my own servicing, though, on my own personal machine, because my warranties are over. Yep, see? I used it. It didn't cut. So I'm going to tell you, they go bad after time. Nothing wrong with the machine. The machine is amazing. But the thread cutter that's in here, the little bar thing, I think that's the cutter piece. I have a little bit of dust. Figured I'd clean it out while I had this open. Yeah, the little blade or something. Can't really tell if that's the blade or not, but pretty sure that's the blade. I don't even know how to sharpen that at all. I would be clueless on that one. All right. Let's take these two stickers off. So yeah, just remember to, I guess, take it easy on your thread cutter, you know, as much as possible. All right, so row 5. Correct, correct, correct. Nice and correct. Lay it on here and sew it together. Once you get service here, for free, they would have to replace it. Don't work anymore. It goes in once a year. Yes, they don't like lint. Nope, my machine don't like lint. But this thing has gotten pretty full before in the past. I've neglected, you know, because I was in the garage and it's super dusty out there as well. I neglected to clean as often, and you know what? This thing will still go as long as it gets its oiling. That's nice, Billy. I wish my husband was that. It would help to have a sewing tech in the house. That way we wouldn't have to worry about anything. I don't know the names of the parts, but I know how to fix them. Is that weird? Like, I don't know. It's like back in the day, I don't know, a lot of you probably done it, took a VCR apart just to see how it works. Yep. That's what I used to do when I was younger, taking VCRs apart just to see what the inner workings were like. Sewing machine isn't that much different. Nowadays, 90% of it's electronic. Okay. 5 done. Let's grab row 6. When I get to row 7, I'll plug the iron in so I can just press the whole entire thing. Okay, this looks correct. Looks correct. If it looks correct, it is correct. Alright, line me some seams up. Just again, I'm still nesting the seams, sewing a 1/4 inch all the way down. Cut that time. Look at that. I'm so used to pressing that stupid thing now. Ever since I've been making videos, it's all I ever do is press that darn button. I don't literally press the button, I press my foot pedal. Alright. 2 more. I'm going to plug the iron in now because I'm already standing. Oh, and I got to plug you guys in. Look at that. Right on time. Okay. If it wiggles, I'm sorry, because I gotta plug it in. Much better. Okay, checking, looks okay, that's where it goes. Right sides together. Almost done. And then maybe next Sunday we can quilt it. How's that sound? Maybe by then you guys will have all done one of these little projects, because it's not that hard. Obviously it's still one charm pack. I just added 6 extra pieces, or 8 extra squares to it. You know, the 2 gray squares per each corner. So technically I just added 2 the piece. I may have ran out, but I added 2, so it's okay. So that's just 1 extra cut from the fabric, so instead of 10 inches, 14 inches, or no, 14 and a half. Trying to nest all these little seams as I go. And it keeps catching all that thread. Take a vacuum apart and put it back together. I could take a vacuum apart too. I used to have to take my Dyson apart all the time because it was always breaking. Alright, now to add row 8. And then I'll show you some of the, I'll press this and then we'll show you some of the things I've been working on. My secret projects. Because I have a lot of those, you know. A lot of secret projects. Some of them are just in the design mode though. Out of my head and onto paper. Some are onto fabric, but only the start of it is on fabric. Are you serious? That grabbed a lot of thread on that one. It's another thing, the more thread you have, it becomes bulky in that area at those cross seams, so you might want to trim it all. I'm in a hurry. Or else I would trim it all the way because I don't need all this extra thread coming up to the front. It comes through and I have to pick it away. I usually pick that away during quilting part. But alright. Iron is on. I'm going to go press this. You guys could just hang out right there because it's hard to turn and turn again and turn again. So we'll make it a pretty surprise. And I definitely have a lot of thread to pull out of these seams. It's crazy. And I'm using lots of steam, just so you know. Actually, I should turn it so you can see how I press whole entire project. That way you can see me press the whole project. I'm kind of backed into a corner here. I'm just kind of slowly folding the seams back, using my fingers to guide me where it needs to go. And there's a lot of thread coming through my seams, but that's because it kept grabbing. Just come up again to another area. I kind of just let my fingers put it a certain way. so it lays flat. Because all we want is for it to lay nice and flat. And I'll turn it over and push seams in a different direction if that's the way they want to go. So now I'm just going to press from the top. I can't see, so I'm hoping you guys are chatting amongst yourselves momentarily. Alright, that's up. Up. See, so I'm on the back side turning the seams up where I want them to go in the first place. How many of you wear glasses? I'm curious, because I want to know how many of you, I didn't wear my glasses usually except for to read, but I'm wearing glasses and I'm steaming and the steam is steaming at my glasses. So how many of you wear glasses and deal with the steam from your glasses making you not able to see? Rendering me blind momentarily. Alright, I'm going to put some starch on this so that it lays nice and flat real quick. I should have done that but it's kind of hard to pre-starch charm squares. I mean, you can, but that's a lot of extra work up front. Oh, and starch-wise, I just used this Faultless heavy starch, and I use the scented one because the other one is like, the smell of it makes me smell funky, the blue lid one, but the lavender is not that bad for me because I'm really so picky to smell. It's unreal how picky my head and brain and everything is to smells. Alright, so now I'm just going to dry iron over all this. Nice and slow. Drying that starch. Technically you're supposed to let the starch dry, but I'm just using the iron and getting it done. I want it to be as flat as flat as I can get. Alright, just another minute. Now I shall be done and ready to show you guys. I am going to pull all these threads out of the seams real quick. Alright, let me get these threads out of these seams. Sometimes they get like really stuck in there. They don't want to come out. But they bother me. They annoy me. They probably annoy you too. But I don't like them when they're at the gray, because I did use white thread. So. Okay. Another second, and I'll be turning the camera. Face this way. And there we have it. So I kind of am noticing that I should have mixed this area up more. I should have been really picky. I should have been more picky about the placement right here, but you know what? I don't care. It's scrappy. It's fun. You still see the point of what it's trying to create, obviously. So. But this will just be a wall hanging. But if I was going to be super picky, I would pick all this out right here and change them around. I don't care. Whatever. Alright, let me lay this out down here. Alright, so coming up video series projects as soon as I could start getting the videos made. One thing will be, these are just sneak peeks. Don't get any ideas. This has a border on it. This is not technically the whole entire block. So I'm going to try to come close. It's just Precious Moments and some purple. I didn't have, I didn't want to cut up anything good. So. So yeah, sneak peek at another project. And then, so technically, I'm going to show you, super confusing. See? You won't understand this. This is what comes out of my brain, is this. Yeah. And then the next project I do not have on fabric yet as a general idea piece. I usually make a general idea piece. So it'll be a jelly roll of solid and a jelly roll of color print, whatever, for the one. And technically what I'm designed could be of two things. So again, this is what comes out of my brain. Obviously you probably can't tell what's even on here, because I can't even tell what's on here. Very confusing. That's what's in my brain. So I write it down like a bazillion times, and then I get this big huge pile of paper going, oh, that's the measurements. Oh, that's how it goes. So, but yeah, this one that you just saw will be a layer cake that creates it. I will hold up. Let me see if I can back the camera up enough so that you guys can see this, because I know that you've been wanting to see what you guys saw me bind, or what you saw me trim in full from that video. So I'm going to pull the camera back some, as far back as I can get it without knocking anything over. Alright, sorry about the wiggling. I'm going to hold this right here. Okay, 2 seconds, guys. Give me a second to situate this. And I can even stand on my chair. This thing is super duper heavy. I did this last year in the summertime. I put this together, and it was like, I don't know, 4 days of just me putting something together. So it is now quilted, because a lot of people have been wondering what it really looked like and how did it finish. It is, like I said, it's super duper enormous. CJ, are you right outside my door? there's that. So this is the one that I was showing you guys, the all over geometric meander. This is what I was quilting on. So let's see if I can hold this so that you can see the quilting. So it just does that. It's an all over geometric meander. So it's going to be bound in the same color that's on the back. That is why I was being careful not to mess that up in the video, because I didn't want to ruin that. So, and I think this is like 98 by 108, I think, something like that. It's pretty big. So, well, I'm glad you remember that when I made this. It wasn't that long ago. It was like 6 or 8 months ago. Something like that. But that's that. So there's so many projects going on at once. And then so some of you know and some of you don't know, I'm doing a customer quilt again, and I have been tasked with, let's see if you guys can see this. I have been tasked with making this. So it is a Contemporary Quilts, Shining Star Quilts from Judy Martin, and this is a 1981. Yep. No. 1987 book. So I will make videos of this, and if you want to try to hunt this book down, because it was really hard for me to hunt it down, and it's a used book that I had to buy for like $14. So if you want to try to hunt this book down, it's Shining Star Quilts, it's Lone Star Variations, it's Judy Martin, but again, you have to cut the templates out and, well, I mean, trace them out and so on and so forth. So the task is to make that quilt with, I'll just bring you to it because it'll probably be easier. With this colorway. It needs to be nautical. That's why the there. So that's the colorway. And that white is a white on white, tone on tone, or whatever you want to call it, tonal fabric. So yeah, a lot of yardage needed for that one. So, alrighty. Like my big mess in here. Alright, so obviously I appreciate all of you. I'm going to hold this up while I talk. I appreciate you guys all for joining me for Sew Sunday. I'm sorry this is such a long one, but I didn't think I would mess up for one. Because only we think we have it all right, but somebody else has to tell us, no, it's wrong. I don't have anybody to tell me that, except for myself when I realize I'm doing it wrong. So, remember, in the description below, it'll take you to the Facebook group. You have to join the group, though. Will be the picture for this, the diagram for this. Obviously, you can make it whatever number you want. So you don't even have to worry about the numbers in the picture, just make it whatever you want. So I appreciate you guys joining me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel right here if you are new to my YouTube. And don't forget to like my videos, and if you want, you can share my videos. I appreciate all of your guys' love and support. And I hope that I will see you in the group or on Instagram if you tag Tiffany's Quilting Life on Instagram with the hashtag Tiffany's Quilting Life, showing me you guys' projects. I love to see all you guys' projects, and I really hope you guys make this, because this is actually super simple. Besides my mess up, it's super simple. So, thank you for coming. Have a good night, everybody.